Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is João Barros. I'm the Chief Platform Officer of Nexar, and it's a pleasure to be with you this morning. So let me share the screen real quick and can get started.
Your screen's just come through.
Thank you, Simon. All right. And so some of you might know Nexar already. We see 94% of US roads at least once per month and have more than 22 million detections per day, which means we see road signs, we see work zones, we see road defects, more than 3 billion miles of images and videos collected per year. And when I say 94% of the US roads at least once per month, many of them we actually see several times per day, and some even several times per hour, given that these are captured by 700,000 vehicles that have cameras and are basically driving across all of the United States. And the goal has always been to use the images of these dash cams not just to increase safety with the vehicles and fleets, but actually to generate a digital twin of our roads and better understand the world. And so we're running AI at the edge to detect all of these different objects. And I want to show you the CityStream Live platform, which we launched in November, and allows you to actually visualize that in a very direct way. So this is not a simulation or a demonstration. These are actually real detections that are happening right now in real time, just a few seconds ago, as you can see here. And basically we're seeing work zone elements, we're seeing street signs, speed limits, and so on. And we're in fact now rolling out similar visualization also for road defects, potholes, etc. We don't upload all of the images, only those that for some reason are interesting or for which we require visual evidence. And then we aggregate that for cities and other customers, particularly also auto OEMs, autonomous vehicle companies, and so on. And I can just, click on one of the recent ones and just go closer and see what happens. So we didn't upload the image for this one, but we're able to see, there's a work zone. We saw detected 4 work zone elements here. We had multiple repeated detection in this case, and we only saw it once, so it must be a recent work zone. And we can click ourselves through and go see a different part of the US. There's another element here. In this case, it's a stop sign. And these are real-time detections. So this is probably the same stop sign. And this is why we do aggregation, so that we can actually provide complete road inventory for a certain city. In this case, for example, Los Angeles. I can just go in there. And for this, I have the visual evidence that I'm able to collect. And you can see there's a sign over there. I can go to another one and just go and basically look at all the things that I want to see. So there were a few stop signs around there too. And I can go and I can check and take a look. And there it is. And there are probably a few more on the other corners. For this intersection, I might even have a 360 view because I'm getting pictures from all the different sides. We have a similar product for work zones. And then the virtual cam is like Google Street View, where basically you can pick, some location, some hexagon that you are interested in, and basically just go in and take a look. And what we offer here for these different hexagons is basically an assortment of images that we've been able to collect, and we're able to choose, and you can see them during the day, during the night, different light exposures and so on. It comes with quality, it comes with the attributes that you would expect from visual images, and reduces the cost of inspections, of course, because now, for example, for work zones, I know where they are, I know if they have a permit or not, and I can go and check, the status of these different work zones. So let me just go back here and just tell you that the use cases, that we've already rolled out are quite broad. Work zone management enables you to see the entire work zone without requiring, inspectors to go there. You have the road inventory where we provide also changes. If the sign disappears, we're able to signal that. The virtual cam, and then curbside for, parking or availability to load and unload from vehicles. So these are all things that are already happening automatically, just, by leveraging all of these pictures. And so essentially, in terms of digital twins, you're able to take the base map and just add, additional layers of information. And the novelty here is that you can now do it in near real time or even real time, depending on location. Like in Manhattan, for example, we have 5,000 Uber vehicles, and so we're able to see, Manhattan, in near real time. We're actually able to say, what is our coverage. So this is what you see in 20 minutes, in 40 minutes, in 1 hour 20. So we have basically refresh rates from the different locations based on how often vehicles visit. The virtual cam I talked about already. We're able to do collision reconstruction. So these are also things for accidents. But one thing that I think will revolutionize digital twins is actually the ability to build 3D HD maps from 2D images without requiring LiDAR, and you get the precision that it's tens of centimeters rather than meters or 3 meters like usual GPS, simply by using images from different vehicles and different viewpoints to be able to reconstruct the scene. Obviously, this is computationally intensive, but it's definitely something that we're very excited to do and to bring to the market. How do you build digital twins? And this is actually one topic I wanted to mention that can scale. And we believe that it happens through crowdsourcing. Otherwise, with just mapping vehicles or dedicated mapping fleets, you'll never get the freshness that you need for real-time mapping. And so you want as many eyes on the road as possible. That gives you more coverage, generates better data and apps and services, and basically that generates more demand. And you get this flywheel turning that brings real-time mappings to reality. And just to conclude, this is a busy slide, but easy to explain. The way the systems work right now is that we have a software development kit that basically runs these detections at the edge. So that's the second factor, is besides crowdsourcing, is that you do the computation at the edge and not in the cloud, because it's too expensive to do it in the cloud. And you can do it with your own with our own dash cams, with other dash cams, with vehicle cameras for all these different fleets. Run the most important functions as close to the edge as possible, and then feed it through APIs for apps and services to use in the form of raw detections, curated maps, and so on and so forth. And so this is what we already have in place. The SDK has already been deployed. And basically, we also have a standard for feeding this data. It's been standardized by the IETF so that you preserve anonymity and privacy and are able to aggregate this data. And so just to conclude, one example is that in Phoenix, Arizona, we saw 53% of detections more than what exists in OSM. And this is really just the beginning of the examples, many, many more. So I'll stop here in the interest of time and look forward to your questions.